spring is here, or should I say, springs are here. I'm going to change the suspension on this Range Rover. It's got a 2-inch lift on and big knobbly tyres. This vehicle isn't going to justify having knobbly tyres on it. It's going to look stupid. It's not going to go off-road, well, do a few dirt road miles, but it ain't going to do off-road, and it's not going to look like a monster truck. But there is a real reason why I'm changing the suspension, and it's got brand new terra firma suspension on as well, which is a shame really. But because it's got big knobbly wheels on and big knobbly tyres, should I say, where do you put the spare? You see, the spare should go where am I? In that back corner. It sits in a well. Well, if you put these in as a spare, all you can do is lay it across the floor. That's no good. What's the point of having a Range Rover if you can't get anything in it for the wheel? It's like LPG, isn't it? You've got great big tanks in your car and then you can't get anything in them. So that's going to be today's job. I'll do a little bit of filming on it, but I just wanted to keep you posted. But one thing I wanted to show you, which was, you sometimes see on springs, but all 4 springs on the Range Rover were different. This is a rear spring, and it's signified with blue and white paint marks on them. They went like that just to tell you what spring was which, because it's quite easy to confuse them because of the different poundages of weight they will compress at. So in the old days what they used to do was put a heavier spring on the driver's side, and that would compensate for the weight of the driver and even up when you were driving. We're quite fortunate with this car, it hasn't got air suspension. The later ones did have, and it was quite good, except for when it went wrong. it was a bit too complicated for a car of 1995 or something like that. Talking of which, we're in the process of buying a 1995 Range Rover that's been a bit neglected for the last 8 years and stood out in a field, but it's got everything on that we need to finish this job. I'm quite pleased about that. So we can take all the interior out, we can change the dash to the soft dash, pull all that rubbish out. You know, somebody can have that. Somebody can have that if they want it. But we'll get a better heating, better air conditioning. So I think the customer's really up for that. So we'll keep you posted on that. But today I'm going to try and manoeuvre this onto the lift on my own. Shouldn't be too bad. And then we'll we'll do the one axle at a time. We'll just drop the axle right down, change the springs, change the shocks. But I think we're in for a bit of a surprise when we come to do the rear shocks, because I'll show you it's got the very early type of shock fixings, which are a nightmare. I think I've got some spares though. See you in a bit. It didn't take long to get the shocks off. In fact, the shocks, where are they? They're over there. The shocks at the bottom, well, somebody's had a struggle fitting these before because the nut wasn't tight, and you can see they've cut the bush down here because they couldn't get the nut on, which is kind of common in a Land Rover. And also notice, because of the height of the spring has bent the pin. This is not good. I had to put the spring compressors on the original spring, on the original spring on this car, because there was no way it was going to fit. It wouldn't come out. And the reason is I've still got the brake pipes on, and I don't want to disconnect all that system. So I've got it on its, I've lifted it up on the lift, but kept the axle on the stands, so I can lift the car, get the springs in and out quite easily. So now I'm just going to go and find out which spring is supposed to go on this corner. So there you are, got the front suspension on, really easy. But when I took the old suspension off, these were terra firma, got a little sticker on there. As you can see it, PS. Doesn't mean it wants to say an extra piece of message. They have the springs on the wrong way around as well. So DS means driver's side, PS means passenger side, and they have them the wrong way around. No big deal. But one tool I would like to show you, a really cheap tool, It's this thing here. I think it's for plumbing. And it's, I think they call it the snake. But it's absolutely perfect because when you're putting shocks on, it binds on here, you know, and the tighter you pull it, the tighter it grips around, if you see what I mean. And it's a really handy thing because it doesn't mark your paint on your shocks, so you don't get scratches and then you don't get rust. Well, we postpone the rust, should we say. So that's the front done. I'm going to dig out now a couple of standard wheels and tyres to put on this so we can get an idea. I just want to show you the difference in diameter of the tyres. There's nothing fancy there. Look, that's the original size tyre, or should be. That's 235/75/16, where it should be 235/70/16. But you see what I mean, why it won't go in the wheel. It won't go in the wheel well. So I think it's going to look nice with the set of new tyres on instead of 235/85s. You see what a difference it makes? You know? So the front's done. Let's drop it down and put the wheels on. So I've got all the suspension changed over. You can see on the top pin here how different it is. It's got a split pin through with a washer, which is different. Now it's easy to fit with the moderner type of shocks because they've got a pre-pressed in bush, but the old ones used to have those conical bushes like in a series. Ooh, they were a nightmare to fit. So anyway, that's done. Not too bad to do, not too bad, but the suspension's on. I'm just going to find a couple of wheels now, pop this on and see what the ride height's like.